Every day, the man has to bathe his paralyzed wife. But on this day, just as she finishes filling the tub with water, he suddenly slips. His head happens to hit the sink, and he heavily falls to the ground. Passing out, the wife instantly feels like she's falling into an icy abyss. At this time, the faucet is still continuously filling the bathtub with water, as the water level is about to submerge her neck. In a moment of panic, a bloody hand suddenly appears. It turns out her husband used all his strength to crawl up, but due to severe injuries, after attempting for a while, he completely collapses. To avoid drowning, Lisa can only think of ways to save herself. She starts trying to use her slightly movable toes to pull out the plug at the bottom of the tub, but her paralyzed body makes it impossible for her to control the force. The plug still can't be pulled out. Fortunately, after continuous attempts, she finally pulls out halfway. At this point, the water flow has submerged her mouth. However, Lisa accidentally snaps the end of the chain. Water continuously flows out along the faucet. Half of her face is already completely submerged in water. The instinct for survival makes her start moving her fingers. Then she slowly reaches the shower head. She tries to control the faucet switch by moving the position of the shower head. Before she can move the shower head to a sufficient position, the water level has already completely submerged her head. At this critical moment, she suddenly exerts a strong force. Although it slows down the speed of water accumulation, she still hasn't escaped the danger to her life. As the breath she's holding is about to run out, Lisa quickly relaxes her body, allowing her right foot to naturally float up. Then, with a sudden exertion of force, she knocks open the drain at the bottom. The water level instantly starts to drop rapidly. Lisa's head finally emerges from the water, relying on a tenacious will to survive. Lisa finally reclaims her life, but at this moment, she surprisingly discovers that the near-death experience has miraculously given her sensation throughout her body. She places her hands on the edge of the bathtub, then slowly gets up, wanting to check her husband's injuries. But strangely, her husband has suddenly disappeared. Seeing the blood stains all over the floor, Lisa is instantly plunged into deep despair. Who clearly hadn't fainted earlier, would watch her drown without doing anything. Realizing that her husband might be trying to murder her, Lisa hurriedly uses all her strength to crawl out of the bathtub. Finally, she heavily falls to the ground again. Then she laboriously stands up and quickly rushes to the telephone. She picks up the phone, ready to call the police. But unexpectedly, at this moment, a dark shadow suddenly flashes outside the door crack. An ominous premonition instantly arises. Could it be that her husband is deliberately trying to murder her? To prevent her husband's plot from succeeding, Lisa quickly picks up a piece of broken glass to defend herself, wanting to go outside and see what her husband is up to. But as soon as she walks out, she discovers that the shadow from earlier was just a curtain blown by the wind. However, despite this, Lisa doesn't dare to relax in the slightest. She takes the glass and slowly moves outward, afraid that her husband will suddenly rush out and launch a sneak attack.